Thank you for joining us on CBA News Brief. My name is Wangui Ngugi. Somaliland's Minister of Planning and Development, Dr. Abdirahman Osman Haji Abdi Shibin, has jetted back into the country after months of receiving medical treatment outside the country. The Cabinet Minister was received by his colleagues at the Cabinet, senior members of the Kulmie administration and his family at Igal International Airport early today. The minister was received by Somaliland Minister of Information, Mr. Mohamed Musa Dirie, Chairman of the Central Bank, Ali Jama, the Deputy Mayor of Hargeisa, as well as the Director of Planning, Transport and Road Development Directorate, among others. He has been ailing since when he was appointed to the cabinet early this year. The government has not disclosed what the state minister was ailing from. Upon arrival at Igal International Airport, he said he is now healthy and would resume his ministerial role immediately. He thanked colleagues at the cabinet and the people of Somaliland for their tireless prayers and continued support. The Minister of Finance, Saad Ali Shire, has been holding the role of the Minister for Planning and Development over the period that he was sick. 2 bodies out of the 10 people who were missing when a boat capsized in Beledweyn yesterday have been recovered. An advisor to Hishabelle President Mohamed Ware identified as Dahabo Ahmed was among those who perished in the boat accident. Iran administration officials were aboard the ill-fated boat when it overturned. The officials were part of government and humanitarian aid teams who were providing assistance in the evacuation and provision of emergency relief to flood victims. The boat is reported to have been transporting about 20 people when it capsized in the flood waters in Beledweyn town. Rescue operations are still ongoing, but there is little hope for more survivors. The root cause of the accident is still unknown, but sources say the boat was overloaded and the water was running fast. Moderate to heavy rains, which started early in many parts of Somalia, continue to be received across the country. An estimated 182,000 people have been displaced thus far due to flooding, according to the UNHCR Protection Return Monitoring Network. Farmland, infrastructure and roads have been destroyed and livelihoods disrupted in some of the worst hit areas. Stakeholders in Somalia's security sector have concluded a meeting in Mogadishu on the threat posed by improvised explosive devices. The 2-day counter-IED seminar, supported by the African Union Mission in Somalia, the United Nations Mine Action Service and the British Army, highlighted the need to build the capacity of Somalia security forces to combat the use of IEDs. IEDs remain a weapon of choice for terrorists to target AMISOM convoys, Somalia security forces and civilians traveling along the main supply routes. As a result, this hampers movement of people, goods and the delivery of humanitarian aid to communities in need. Participants during the seminar discussed issues relating to pre-deployment and in-mission training of AMISOM troops and their counterparts, Somalia security forces, dismantling the IED network within Somalia, and disposal of explosives, among others. They also highlighted the importance of improving the capacity of the Somalia security forces to take over from AMISOM in mitigating the IED threat, which will in turn facilitate the handover of security responsibilities by AMISOM in line with the Somalia Transition Plan. Currently, the UN Mine Action Service trains explosive ordnance disposal teams during the mandatory pre-deployment training for African Union troops before they are deployed to Somalia. The EOD trainings are done in Kenya and Uganda and will be rolled out to other AMISOM troop contributing countries, including Burundi, Djibouti and Ethiopia. The Uganda Minister of State for Defense General Duties, Honorable Colonel Charles Okello Engola, and Honorable Hassan Ali Mohammed, the State Minister of Defense of the Federal Government of Somalia, on Monday held a meeting aimed at improving bilateral relations in defense matters. The two ministers who met in Somalia's capital Mogadishu discussed the prevailing security situation in the region and commended their two countries' forces for working together within the framework of AMISOM to bring lasting stability to Somalia. The two ministers further took note of the existing cordial relationship between their two governments, noting that the sacrifices made to bring peace to Somalia since the deployment of UPDF in 2007 will never be in vain. They also discussed and agreed on the need to initiate a memorandum of understanding through which Uganda can offer additional support, especially towards building the capacity of the Somalian National Army. They both pledged to continue encouraging and supporting their forces to keep the tempo and spirit of degrading the Al-Shabaab to enable the people to live in peace. A new study says that northern Botswana represents the ancestral homeland of all the 7.7 billion people on Earth today. Scientists say they have traced the homeland for all modern humans to a large ancient wetland region spanning northern Botswana south of Zambezi River. According to the study published in Nature Journal, the area was home to Homo sapiens 200,000 years ago. It hosted a population of modern humans for at least 70,000 years. The group remained in the region until regional climate changes led them to migrate roughly 130,000 years ago, first to the northeast, then to the southwest, according to the study. Scientists reached their conclusion after analyzing DNA samples from 200 Khoisan people, an ethnic group living in South Africa and Namibia. These people are known to carry a high proportion of a branch of DNA known as LO. Their work created a kind of genetic map tracing LO lineage to show their prehistoric humans lived in the region for about 70,000 years before they dispersed throughout the world. It has been long established that Homo sapiens originated somewhere in Africa before later spreading worldwide. The oldest known Homo sapiens fossils evidence dates back to more than 300,000 years from Morocco. Well, that's the end of CBA News in Brief. Join Abdullahi Hassan later tonight with more and detailed news. Have a lovely time.